As the Zimbabwe domestic season comes to an end, it does so with a week of the most exciting domestic tourney, the men's domestic T20. Will the Mountaineers continue to assert their dominance and make it a treble-winning season? Or will the Rhinos mount a challenge and win their first silverware of the season? 2 venues, 5 provinces, 11 matches, and just 1 winner. From the 24th to the 30th of March 2025 at Harare Sports Club and Takashinga Cricket Club. Who will be crowned the 2025 domestic T20 champions?
It's a warm welcome as we welcome you to this evening's match of the Zimbabwe domestic T20 2024 into 2025. Finishing off the round of matches tonight, we find Tuskers taking on Southern Rocks. A warm welcome wherever you're watching this stream around the world. My name is Tawanda Eli. I am with Larry Kurai. I will be in the box being you in the commentary for this particular encounter. So the toss happened earlier on. Tuskers winning the toss and choosing to bat first. And Southern Rocks will then have the duties to chase whatever would have been set by the men that are languishing at the bottom of the table. Let's have a look at the Tuskers lineup today. Tanunu Ramakoni will be given another go. One of the changes for today. Brian Chari will partner with him, opening up. Munashe Chimsoro will be coming in number 3. Ensley Ndlovu as well, the captain, will be making up the middle order. Tanaso Bechani also gets a run in this particular encounter. Milton Shumba, Clive Mandande, Nkosi Bongwe, Kokoto, Luke Jongwe, Brandon James, and then Ernest Masugu, rounding up those that will be featuring 4 Tuskers.
And for the Rocks, it's one change. There is a debut for Matthew Campbell, who comes in for William Mashinge. But to go through the whole lineup, Sifas Joao, Innocent Kaya, Roy Kaya, Matthew Campbell, as I mentioned, Jonathan Campbell, Safazo Tsiga, Newman Nyamuri, Blessing Zarabani, Dylan Hondo, Shelton Torera, and Panache Tarovinga. It is only pride to play for in this particular one, isn't it, Eli?
As we take a look at the log standings on the points table, if you want to call that, sitting comfortably at the top is Rhinos, 4 in 4 that they've had. They knew it by the end of yesterday that they'll be in the final. And then this afternoon, Eagles made sure that they are the second team that will be making a go for it for the coveted cup that they would love to win. Southern Rocks, Mega Market Mountaineers, and Tuskers finishing up in that particular order in this season of the domestic T20. Here we go, first ball. Looking to get off the mark is Brian Chari for Tuskers.
So Dylan Hondo doing what he did yesterday, opening the bowling. I think he's been trusted with that particular task. Did it very well yesterday against Rhinos. Unfortunately, did not end up winning that match.
Runs off the bats of Chari. Tuskers get their innings underway with that first delivery. Dylan Hondo strikes up early, and he picks up the wicket of Makoni. Trying to play it off the back foot, misses it totally, and rattles his stumps. Tuskers lose their first.
As I said yesterday, it was a good start for Dylan Hondo with the ball, and today it takes the wicket of the man who came in today, Tanunu Ramakoni, who has to go for a golden duck. And so after 3 balls, the score is 1 for 1.
Well, the woes continue for Tuskers. 1 for 1, and we're halfway through the first over. They would not have wanted the situation, but it just sums up their summer. One to quickly forget. Clive Madande will be the new man that's walking in.
So Dylan Hondo continues from the city end to the new batter. There's Clive Madande. He's had a couple of starts in this particular tournament, never really got going. A man who had been out and since early December, played the T20s against Pakistan, then was out with an injury for 3 months. Now back in the side. Brian Shari faces after Clive Madande got off strike. And Homo Boko, when you really look at it, it's almost if you look at the matches in the afternoon, it's been slow starts for everybody. And then after the second or third over, then it bowled him. Clive Madande, the next to go out, bowled by Dylan Hondo, who takes 2 wickets in the first over, made some space for himself, wanted to access a sort of deep backward square leg area, trying to heave that for a 6. The ball crashes into leg stump and he has to go.
Clive Madande will depart, and it seems like Southern Rocks are making light work of Tuskers right here. They picked up 2 wickets in a space of 6 balls. No one could have dreamed of a better start for Rocks here. Tuskers 3 for the loss of 2 after 1.
Milton Shumba makes it to the crease, and coming in at a time of great difficulty for his side. And, it doesn't get more difficult than Blessing Mzarabani coming to bowl his first over. And, under lights is especially difficult. And jabs it. Alex a little guiding it to fine leg, and just doesn't look as if there's a bit of there's much confidence in this Tuskers side, who've had a very difficult time both here and Takashinga. So if one thought that perhaps they would get more grace when they went to Takashinga, it was more of the same. And today 3 for 2 after 1.1 overs.
Oh, work leg side. Coming across the stumps. Brian Cherry being innovative. Finds a boundary to try and get this Tuskers innings going, because they've lost 2 early wickets. And shimmering across the stumps and playing it just a touch wider of short 45, or short fine leg if you want to call him. And he was fortunate enough to pick up 4.
So Tuskers, last time they won they won back-to-back titles, 2018, 2019, and 2020, 21. If you remember, 2019-20 was cancelled because of the big pause across the world when the season was voided. So they're a side that has seen a lot of better days. And those are the only two finals they've made. So when they do get to the final, they tend to win it. But those days of success seem distant right now. As for Rocks, never been to the final, never won it. I mean, obviously, if they've never been to the final, they never won it, didn't it?
A good ball from Zarabani. A decent bounce and trying just to play it off the back foot. Bit of extra bounce on that occasion.
So in a match like this, where both teams know that it's pretty much, I mean, not pretty much, but it's done. How do you keep yourself motivated?
Crushing right up on the stumps there. Well, there's a lot that's required to come back from it because you do need to do quite a lot of work as we come to the end of the second over. 7 for 2. Dylan Hondo will continue. It's a dream start that he's had with the ball. Picked up 2 important wickets early on for the cost of 3 runs to get this innings going. Milton Shumba pitched up, likes it, goes over mid-off for 4. A magnificent shot. Something that definitely we're accustomed to when Milton Shumba comes onto the crease. Dylan Hondo just pitching it up too full on that occasion and is punished. Remember, still within the power play, only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. At the moment, he is long on and cow corner. Those are the only 2 that he has. And a very, very fortified offside. Faintest of edges. And it's taken by Sega. Milton Shumba stay at the crease, and it's another brief one. Dylan now has 3 wickets to his name.
Tell you what, there was that stare from Milton Shumba as if to say, but the finger that gives the death knell to his innings went up, and he has to go. 11 for 3. Tuskers find themselves after 2.2. Dylan Hondo would have gone to bed last night and thought to himself, look, I've had a good tournament so far. This kind of start is the stuff of dreams, isn't it?
Definitely a dream start. Look, Jongwe is the man that's now on strike. He's coming in quite earlier than in recent matches. Works it away leg side. And pushing for 2. And it'll be kept just down to 1. 11 for 3 at the moment are Tuskers, or rather 12 for 3. A situation that nobody could have ever thought of. Big shout! The umpire shakes his head. Dylan Hondo was very much interested in that one. I just wonder what could have been the reason the umpire would have said no. I'll bring it in. Another eventful over. Decent one. It's 3 overs done, and it's 12 for 3. Well, bless him, Zarabani will be back in the attack for his second over. Went for 4 in the first one. Courtesy of Brian Cherry shimmering across his stumps to just lift it over. Short fine leg. Different feel for Luke Jongwe. There's now a slip in place. Deep backward point. And fine leg. Comes down the track, heaves it leg side. Just falls in between the two fielders as mid-off and mid-wicket. Trying to take the attack to the Rocks bowlers is Luke Jongwe. He's been the better for Tuskers. Should be their leading run scorer, if I'm not mistaken. That is Luke Jongwe. Short delivery. That's a good bumper. It'll be 1 for the over.
So, given the challenges that they could be having on the surface, doesn't look as if it's quite coming onto the bat. Would it be then going back to the old age, get off strike as much as possible for both sides? For both players?
Heaved away, too short. No pace on offer. Brian Cherry climbs on top of that one. Magnificent stroke for 6. And that one set up quite nicely. A juicy short delivery from Zarbani. And gladly accepted by Cherry. Well, I don't think that it's a matter of not coming onto the bat nicely. If you take a look at that shot, that was played by Brian Cherry. For me, I think it's just been an issue for Tuskers of poor shot selection. Being caught, 3 players that have fallen, trying to play deliveries on the back foot, on straight deliveries, especially to spin, when it tends just to skid on. Wide. There's still a chance for Tuskers with this pay that's currently in for them to get a decent total, or rather just kick-start again your winning momentum, because it only takes one match for you to develop a winning mentality. Then maybe they can find some positives to write home about to close off this season. Punched and good running. Brian Cherry has a seasoned campaigner in all formats for Tuskers. One of the longest serving members of the franchise. And is one that you can expect to carry the weight of the team on his shoulders, duly by someone also that is showing his ability. Let's look Jongwe. Edged. And no slip now in place. They should get a couple here as third man cleans up. The previous over there was a slip, but they took him out. Maybe could have gone to him. However, that's the end of the over. 4 overs done, 23 for 3.
The case there, fortune favors the brave, or do you think that was just a genuine edge?
Genuine edge, that was a good delivery. Well pitched up, good pace on it. Drew the batter forward, played a full shot and found a thickish outside edge. Current run rate 5.75, I beg your pardon. Shelton Majitorera comes into the attack for Southern Rocks.
Might have been tempted to go with to just bowl out Dylan Hondo. Would you have?
Inside edge, and it'll run away for 4 with fine leg inside the 30-yard circle. A moral victory for the batter on this occasion. But however, he was bitten all ends up on that occasion. Good delivery from Majitorera. But it's a boundary that Tuskers will gladly take at this moment. Driven on the up. Looking to play positively is Brian Cherry. That was in the air for quite a while, nearly carrying to mid of the airway is Innocent Kahia. If he's going to play that shot, he would love just a little bit more elevation and try and go a little bit straighter, just over the bowler's head. Good ball, block hole, but well played. And a quick single taken. Three wickets to his name, Shelton Majitorera, in this tournament. Economy of 10. Slightly on the expensive side. pulled away. Poor delivery. Doesn't come off the middle of the bat, but Look Jongwe is no newcomer. He will be able to put that away on any day. So it's now 2 boundaries from the over. First one was a fortuitous one. This one, intentional. Those 2 boundaries sort of dampens the mood of Southern Rocks. They were a little bit chattier early on because they picked up 2 early wickets. Now 2 boundaries in the over. They're going slightly quieter. Changes in the field. Mirov comes inside. Point goes to the boundary. And also square leg. Deep position. Gonna be wide. Trying to invite him to cut that away or pull it away in the directions of the 2 fielders on either side square of the wicket. And that's the strategy.
Tell you what, the preparation yesterday would have been interesting to watch. Tuskers already know that they are out. Rocks rocked by not being able to go in after the results today. Punched to point. Get the single off that. Luke Jongwe gives off the strike, is on 9. Shelton Machitorera bowling the final ball of this over. It's a nice breezy evening. When a few fans have come through to come and, never mind the dead rubber that this match is, still a lot of pride to play for. The fans of Malawi who want to at least get 1 win for their side. Oh, so close. A chance for a caught and bowl. It's one of those, if it gets to the hand, it sticks.
Oh, that was hit very thick and fast. Nearly decapitated the man.
Well, you should catch those.
Clearly you're not a bowler,
When
Larry.
When it sticks, it sticks. And it doesn't, it doesn't. We've seen very difficult for balls hit really hard. Glenn Phillips is an example of that. Really cut really hard and you catch them. If it gets to the hand, it gets to the hand.
But in those conditions, he wasn't bowling. That was to the bowler. 5 overs done, 38 for 3. Trying to steady the sheep is the pair of Brian Chari and Luke Jongwe. 22 Chari, 9 to Luke Jongwe. Those are the runs that they have acquired so far. Zarabani out of the attack. And left arm seamer Newman Yamuri is the new man, being given a go with the ball. Last over just before the end of the power play. It'll be interesting to see how Luke Jongwe will look to utilize the last 6 deliveries that have fielding restrictions in them. Right. Third man, fine leg. Everyone inside the circle. Cut away. That's a brilliant shot. And it will skip and hobble around and just bounce by the rope. Third man trying to save it. That's 4. Good way to start the over. Third man on that occasion was too straight or too fine, you would say. Being now called to be a little bit on the widest position. Straighter delivery. Could bounce, well played. I'd love to see Newman Yamuri just develop a little bit more of a repertoire in his bowling arsenal. Have deliveries that he can bring back in and then one that can cut across the right-handers. Besides this straighter delivery that he's gone back to. Almost trying to go wicket to wicket. But this one has decent bounce and pace on it. One whereby he is limiting the amount of time and space for Luke Jungwe to free his arms. But you can't bowl those 6 on the trot. Because all Jungwe will need to do is give himself room on the leg side and look to open up the offside. Plays it late and rotates strike.
So if you're other side, how would you have prepared for today? If you're Tuskers, you know you're out, so maybe no pressure. If you're Rocks, before around 4:30 this afternoon, you still thought you had a chance?
Good shot, but well played. I'll start off with Tuskers. I think they've done the right thing. They've given players that have just been on the fringes a go today. It'll be interesting to see how Tanatswa Bechani plays today. He's been given a go. So that's what you do. You just try and work on a few things, experiment a bit. You've got nothing to lose. Either side should have done that. Oh, big swing and a miss. Missed opportunity there. Brian Cherry. It'll be end of the 6th over. So it's 43 for 3 after 6. Dylan Ondo should be now bowling what should be his last over, if I'm not mistaken. I beg your pardon, his third. As the umpire signals the end of the power play there. 43 for 3 after 6 overs. Just get a feeling that there may be 20 or 15 runs behind where they would have left to beat. That's Tuskers. Phil will open up, so there'll be plenty of opportunities to rotate strike with ease for Tuskers. A quicker delivery, the arm ball. 5 boundary riders in front of the batter, started from deep square leg. Deep mid wicket. Long on, long off, and a sweep on the offside. Makes room. Jongwe punches it down hard for 1.
Look, Jungwe today will know that he's got a lot of balls to work with to curate an innings. Not one for his putting together patient innings, but this is something that he's going to have to do for this side. And 2 of the senior batters are the ones that are out there, and for any success in a team, you need your bigger heads, your players with international reputation to do a lot of the hefty lifting.
Drags it leg side just for 1. Yeah, everybody needs to come out and make their efforts known. That's the end of the 7th over. Quick one. 46 for 3. Partnership now worth 35 runs from 28 deliveries. Exactly about 10 deliveries since we had the last boundary. Something that they would want to look at, that is Tuskers. In those 10 deliveries that they have faced, 5 of them have been dot balls. And then there are others, 4 singles that they have scored. Change of ends for Shelton Majitorira, now coming from the golf course end, looking for better fortunes. Went for 15 in his first over. Oh, good shot. Magnificent shot by Luke Jongwe. Just opening the face of the blade there. Not looking to hit it a lot with power, but a brilliant piece of timing and ingenuity there. Finds a much needed boundary.
Sort of momentum that you need from this side. As the 50 comes up, 50 for 3 after 7.1 overs. You're talking about the dearth of fours. 600 you won.
Again, looking to do the same. Nyume Nyamuru will clean up third man. Well, you have to always be looking for one in the over. And that's what I was worried about, because they've gone for 10 deliveries without a boundary. And then in those 10, they had 4 single balls in there. So that's not a good dot ball percentage management, you would say. But on this occasion, they start off the over with a boundary. They can rotate strike with ease, and they'll be happy with that. Too short. Worked away. That's a brilliant hit. That's another one. Now Shelton Majitorera struggling with his lines here. And is being punished. Already the over is a good one. 9 runs off it.
Majitorera probably prefer the other side.
For 15 from the other side.
It's going for, it looks like it's going for a little bit more now.
9 halfway through the over.
Could end up being 18.
Well, we saw the largest over today, 30. Tendai Chatara. Struck down. Single taken.
Some power hitting from Tadiwana Maramani earlier.
It was belligerent. Gunning for blood. Another single taken as they rotate strike. $11 off the over. It's been a good one for Tuskers. Slower delivery, but again, quick single taken, an opportunity for 2. And yes, they do take advantage. Caught sleeping rocks in terms of fielding there. And they steal a single to finish the 8th over, 59 for 3.
You know what I like about this so far? It's what you're seeing from Brian Shari. He is running in between the wickets like a teenager. Punch, run, punch, run. That's what you want. Still a lot to play for. A slot in the final is gone. what you can do is you got to get the youngsters to believe again. Got to give them something to hold on to.
A good partnership. Should be 48-run partnership. 2 runs short of a half-century partnership. Just of 34 deliveries. So these two are going on pretty well. Scoring just under 7.5. Projected score around 148. Roy Kahia is greeted. Sent down to long on for 1. The captain of Southern Rocks. Bring himself into the attack. Pace off. Now great use of the feed and adjustment from Brian Cherry. Was looking to come down the track. Roy Kahia trying to bowl it just wide of him. And did well to negotiate it through the covers for a single, Cherry there. Jongwe also using his feet. It's a good way to navigate spin. Get to the pitch of the delivery. Negotiate it by keeping it on the surface. Well bowled by Roy Kahia. Through the covers. That should be 4. That's well timed by Chari. He went across the stumps. He was followed by Roy Kahia, but able to punch it through the covers for 4. Lovely piece of timing. A 50-run partnership comes up between the two, 55 from 39.
It's what you need, as I said earlier on, from your experienced players. Ones who've seen these situations over and over again.
Again, works it well for a single. It's been a good over. Eight runs off it. 67 for 3 after 9.
I'll tell you what, very vocal fans, normally part of the Zimbabwe Cricket Supporters Union, as change of ends for Dylan Hondo.
Yeah, his last over of the allotted 4. And talking about the fans, they're making their own fun. Enjoying the weekend away. They have both music and cricket action. A good combination, you would say, to enjoy the weekend. Well bowled and also well played. Decent amount of flight and a good length as well. Just deeping in on Luke Jong with it. Drawing him onto the front foot. Cut away and well fielded. It's a magnificent piece of fielding from Shelton Majitorera. driven. A grass cutter of a shot. And that is a brilliant piece of batting there. A glorious shot from Luke Jongwe. You know, give him a much needed boundary. It had been a good over until that delivery creamed away.
I tell you what, Roy Kaya was standing just a few meters away, but could only admire that shot. It was a tracer bullet shot.
Strike rotation, magnificent. They're pushing for 2. And they call for no. No one at the stumps. Nyamuri arriving just in time. Good anticipation.
It's been a week of cricket, a festival of T20 cricket, the most popular form of cricket across the world. And at the end of that over, Dylan Ondo brings his 4 overs to an end, 3 for 17 from his 4 at an economy of 4.25. Tuskers are 73 for 3 as we get into the strategic timeout. So after the break, just remind you of the score right now, 73 for 3. Tuskers having elected to bat first here at Harare Sports Club. Bit of a rebuilding exercise has taken place between the 2 batters of the crease. That is Luke Jongwe on 29 and Brian Chari on 37 of 31. Coming in to bowl now is the captain Roy Kaya to carry on with his from the city end.
"62-run partnership of 46. Flicked away. Aerial for a moment. Break in passage of play normally results in something, and in history never favors the betting side. Just tend to wonder, does that break the rhythm of Tuskers? as they negotiate. Roy Kahia here. Strike rate of 120 from Luke Jongwe, 30 from 25 he has. Struck 4 fours. Shimmering down the wicket. In the last minute, pulling out in there. You'd have expected a huge one. And then in his counterpart, 38 from 32, Brian Cherry. 5 fours and 1 maximum. Behind par in terms of strike rate, these two. Just get a feeling that Southern Rocks don't mind the singles. As long as they can just negate the boundaries, they'll be okay. Struck hard, but it'll be just for 1.
So what would you be comfortable defending here?
We saw 192.
See, 191 perhaps. Given the fact that the chasing team only got 158 for 8 after some exceptional batting from particularly Marumani's that big over that went for 30 and they ended up winning by 34.
Yeah, I did say early on, as we see the end of the over, we'll come back to it. 11 overs done, 79 for 3. Did say that anything around 180 is a good defendable total because this is a good batting surface. Tends to remain the same throughout the evening. So, if you saw that Mountaineers, they just lost by 30 plus runs shy of 190. That means anyone who scores around 160 or below, your target is never safe. So you really need to go above and beyond the past score of 150. Get to 180, 190. Might be a tough one for Tuskers. Generally in the past 3 games they have floated around 140, 120 and 130 around there. So if they can just push themselves to around 170, just maybe, they can be able to do well, because also Rock 7 really done well with the bat, struggle to find their groove. Cut away, up and over point. Sweep has some work to do in the deep, cuts it off and just keeps it to 2.
I suppose the next question would be, what is it that the 2 teams in the final have been able to do consistently that those who haven't gotten into it have been able to do? Because you've had patches in which Rocks did a couple of things well, and the same thing say Mountaineers. But what is it that you think that was the difference?
Score runs. If you're able to score runs, you win games. Put up totals that the opposition cannot be able to get. That's how you get into the final. Well bowled, slow ball, but tag out there. Good piece of fielding. Because if you look at Rocks, they 4 wins on the trot. Never put a foot wrong. And also Eagles, how they went about it. 2 wins on the trot, they lost the 3rd, and then they came back to win the 4th one. So it's all about creating a wiggling momentum, but largely by putting up runs on the board. Shot. Lovely. Brilliant. That's a magnificent shot by Luke Jongwe, 2 full. And he gives it a ramp shot. You would have said that deserved to go for 6 because it was such a good shot. But however, you'll only get 4 for it. partnership really becoming a thorn in the flesh for Southern Rocks. 75-run partnership. Look, John, we're now in the 40s. Ramped away. My third man is there to keep it to just one. Look, John, we're just using the pace of human Nyamuri. That's all he's doing. Being confident in the posture that he takes to play the shot. Just working with what pace is on offer. He's doing well. I feel like he missed out on that occasion. That's Shari. 12 overs done. It's 87 for 3. Roy Kahia to ball his third over. Look, Jungwe just surpassed his highest in the tournament. And you add that 6. This becomes his highest in the tournament, takes him to 43. My strike of power asserting himself onto Roy Kahia earlier on into the over.
Also makes it his highest ever T20 score. So a milestone for him.
Good cricket. Get a maximum, you get off strike. 7 runs already off the over. The pressure is onto the bowler. Just get a feeling that if they're able just to amp up things a bit more, Tuskers here. Yes, they're going at 7.5. But you'd want more. But I guess also you need to look at who's left to come. Not much batting to come for Tuskers. I played well through the covers for another good single. Yes, there's Mnashi Chimsoro, Ansley Ndlovu, Tanatswa Mechani, Brendan James as well. You'd want this pair to bat as deep as possible. 7.1 overs remain. $13 done, 97 for 3. Seven overs remaining in this Tuskers encounter or innings. 97 for 3 is where they are. Chari on 45, together with his partner in the non-strikers end, matching each other. creamed away. The sweeper, Shelton, will save face for Newman Nyamori because that was a gift. A full toss, and Brian Cherry really gave it everything he had. Instructions, or rather pointers, from Zarabani to Newman Nyamori on just how to bowl things there. At the same time, it's a bit of camaraderie. Look, Jongwe needs help with his shoelaces, and his opponents will gladly help him out. That's Roy Kaya. Well bowled and well played as well. Just rolling it down to third man for a single. I love the strike rotation from the two. They're not allowing dot balls to accumulate. They keep scoring just ones and getting the odd boundary here and there. And that is good because it keeps them going. Chari's been there from the start. Faced 41 deliveries for his 46. Pushed him for two. Can they come back? They thwaft the thought. And that single brings up the 100. And largely due to the contribution of these two. Pull away. Sweeper will clean up. This partnership now worth 90 runs.
Tell you what, hits his pads because he knows he missed out on that one. Short and wide. Usually that goes all the way to the boundary. But importantly for his side, he's still out there. He can still rectify a lot. Still about 26 balls.
Oh, what a hit. What a strike by Chari. That'll go all the way for 6. And it'll be his half century that comes up. And that's half century number 8 for Brian Chari. Gets to 53. Magnificent knock. Good to see from a side that is virtually written out of this tournament. Something to finish off on a positive note. Spoke about how he was there from the start. His 50 comes off 5 4s and 2 6s. Pulled away, not from the middle of the bat. And he'll get a single to get off strike. And that will be the end of the 14th over. 108 for 3 after 14. What a strike, what a hit. All the way for 6. Well, Brian Cherry moves to 60. And starting that over with a huge maximum. Intentions are clear here. Clearly, getting to half century gives him the license to go.
I'll tell you what, he's got a high score of 93. It will be something special if it goes to those triple figures, and something to hold on for his side.
Works the leg side. That's good cricket. Pick up a single to get off strike. The run rate now climbing. It had been stuck on 7.5 for quite a while. Now it's 8 and over.
I'll tell you what, a 160, 170 chasing here against a Rhino side that, a Rock side, I beg your pardon, that is not looking confident at the moment.
Oh, wow. A fumble from that strike will bring up the half century for Luke Jongwe. He had creamed it through the covers, hoping for a single. But however, it was mistimed or misjudged by Jonathan Campbell and gives away a boundary, and Luke Jongwe will get to 51.
And gifted that maiden half century for Luke Jongwe.
A big one in his career, striking 6 fours and 1 maximum. Might be a dead rubber encounter, but personal milestones here being achieved, especially Luke Jongwe. It's done well over the seasons with the bat. Gets another opportunity here to really showcase what he can offer. Projected score now 162 at the current run rate. Last 5 overs have yielded 47 runs at 9.4 runs and over. Oh, looking to play in a reverse sweep. Big shout in agony. He feels he missed out on that occasion. This is good to see from Jongwe. Really polishing up his skills. Was normally known just as a bowler. But look at him. Looking like a really accomplished batter. And he's only reaping also the fruit or the merits of his hard work. End of the over, 15 done, 120 for 3. $15 done, 5 remaining in this encounter. Or rather, the Tuskers innings. Blessing Zarabani gets another go. Gonna be wide. Has to bowl that one again.
Fascinated me that the one person who appealed was Sifas Joao, positioned at a mid-off position. Everyone else, it's pretty calm.
No shot, ramping it, but it'll just be for 1. Looking to use the pace of Blessing Zarabani's delivery. I love the confidence that Luke Jongwe is exhibiting here. Not shying away from the short pitch deliveries. Looking to play them almost like a top order batter would. Normally people tend to duck when short deliveries are sent their way from the likes of Zarabani, but not with Luke Jongwe at the moment. A good call for a single, good running. Oh, good ball. Well played, Eden. Fatasiga still takes a crack at stumps to the non-striker's end. Where well safe was Luke Jongwe. Really impressed by this pair, this partnership now with 113 runs. Just from 79 deliveries with contributions of 62 and 54. Last 3 overs, all have gone for more than 10 runs, or just about 10 runs and over from this pair, showing you that the intentions are clear. They really want to get as many as they can. Good delivery. Just skidding on to Chari on that occasion. Getting into the last 4 remaining overs after this delivery. So they have it right to push. They come back for 2. Good running. 126 for 3. Shelton Majutorera back in the attack as we are almost, or rather we are in the latter stages of this Tuskers innings. Right, what field set does he have? Long on, long off, a sweep on the offside, deep backward square, deep mid wicket. So you can expect some short deliveries, you would say, or just back of the length. Oh, and they pitch it full. Full he goes. Trying to just guide it between the gap of short third and the keeper there, Luke Jongwe. Just one. Using his feet, trying to get to that one, but well bowled. It's a dope ball. He'll need a lot of those, Majutorera. Because as from here, going forward, you're now in the death overs. Tuskers with the 7 wickets in hand that they have. Both his batters have milestones of 50 under their belt, so both have a license to go. And he does. Clean hit. Sails into the stands for 6. Chari moves to 70. Expect a few more of those.
And with that, this is the biggest partnership of the tournament. And many people say no better time to go for it, because the previous one, the Mountaineers between Nicholas Welsh and Brian Bennett, there was 119. Partnership has gone to 122.
Looking to go again. Swing and a miss. You will not blame. You can't afford to do it because he is really late to do that. How much more can they propel? And that's Tuskers total. Again, center gap. Dip midway, get some work to do. That's Human Yamuri. Skips it down to 1. That'll be the end of the 17th over. 134 for the loss of 3. Over number 17 will Blessing Zarabani. Brian Cherry, who's made his intentions clear after reaching 50, now striking it at 131 in terms of strike rate. Failed set. No deep square leg, so I'd rather have a backward point. Third man, sweeper on the offside. Fine leg, cow corner. Oh, dip mid wicket. Sultan Zarbani, they have changed their mind. They are now going to Human Yamuri. Be wide. Good contest. Young man trying to polish up his skills versus a seasoned better in the domestic circuit. Worked away leg side with his protection, not just be one. So you can say a good one for Norman into his last over. 5 deliveries that to think about on how to finish up.
You're once young, facing a veteran. What will be going through your mind?
No, opening the face of the blade. Wanted to send the leg side, Joe Witt. But good anticipation from no adjustment. Noticing the shimmer across the stumps. Now when you're facing a veteran, I remember there was a time when I was bowling to Douglas Morelia. It was actually my first game for Harare Sports Club after moving from Guerrero Sports Club. And over, I really wanted not to remember. Cracked away. And that's 4. Right from the juicy part of the bat from Brian Cherry.
It's looking brilliant, isn't it?
That really came off the middle of the bat and was creamed away. Great power, great placement. Looking to amp up things here towards the latter stages. That's what you need.
What is the biggest wicket you took?
Mullen, if I remember. Oh, looking to pull away. That's a missed opportunity. I think it would have been better playing that one through the offside, but he wanted to pull it away. Brian Cherry. I don't fault him as well because there's only one fielder on the leg side. So his possibilities of landing a boundary would be better suited for him to go through the leg side.
Pretty sure you got the same shirt. You've got it somewhere. Oh.
Struck hard. Now Stumps being the 12th man there.
You remember some players keep the shirt for the first big wicket they took? Do you still remember
back there we didn't have the liberty to keep the shirts. You would
but
return it after the game.
The shorts though.
You didn't even have shorts. You came in with your own pair of shorts. Pull away. It's in the air. Taken. That's a big wicket. Newman Yamori will have the last laugh. He had been hit quite well by Brian Chari, who has had a magnificent innings. A good way to close off his summer. From a team that really had been struggling, but tonight he really shows why he's one of the top batters going around the domestic circuit. His wicket will fall with him having made a decent 76 runs. And that is off 59 deliveries, striking 6 fours and 4 maximums. Had a strike rate of 128. He was there from the start. Tuskers 1-for-1 for the loss of 4 after 18.
It's a great performance from the big man. The old man in the team is 33 now, so leading from the front. What he's doing there is showing the youngsters to be brave when you're playing at this level, because a lot of the times you go out there a little bit scared. If you go after the bowlers, you can get something out of this. Wonderfully played, 71, 76. It was great to see a moment after that as he was walking off. Luke Junga calls him over, goes up to him and gives him a pat on the back and says, "Well done." Just that fight. This is what the fans want to see. You don't always expect a win, but you want to see your side give it a go.
For Tuskers. Now you'll be glad that he'll be at the non-striker's end. Luke Jongwe on strike to face Shelton Mazitorera. Last 12 deliveries. This will be the first of them. Trying to blast it through the covers, finds the fielder. Well placed, Innocent Kahia. .141. Spoke about getting to 170. Can they get 30 or 20 plus in these 12? Up in the way. Jonathan Campbell won't get there. One bounce, and that'll be 4. I'll wait for the umpire. He'll confirm with Jonathan Campbell. From my bird's eye view here, that went for 4. Still waiting for the confirmation. There we have it. That's 4 runs given. Good strike by Jongwe. It'll take him to 60. Shelton, what will he think of doing here? Changes his field around. 3 boundary riders on the offside. 2 on the leg side. Third man inside the circle. Fine leg inside the circle. Willem looking to hit it down the ground. You can hear that grant and come on shout from Mashitorira. Chopping it on Luke Jongwe in the efforts to try and really escalate the scoring rate here. Finds an inside edge. Mashitorira well here. And we'll see the departure of Jongwe. A very 60 of 47. His highest score in his cricketing career in T20. Striking 7 fours and 1 6.
Tell you what, his fans, and so many of them, a player that looks and has looked for a long time, that is built for this format. And they'll be saying, look, that was a great performance. As Ernest Masugu comes to the crease, one of the other mature players in the team, the experienced players, they've put up their hands and said, I'm going to have a go. It's a season that has been very disappointing.
Yeah, Ernest Masugu can bat. He has a first-class 50 and his belt, can strike it really well. What can he add on here? Swing and a miss. 145 for 5. Tuskers. What can they add on here? 2 new batters at the crease. Not what you would want towards the end of an innings. You would want to set batter out there to face the remaining deliveries, but you work with what's in front of you. Big heave leg side. Newman. No, keep it down to 1. Oh, fumbles. And is fortunate enough. He had someone backing him up there. And they come back for 2. Right. Ernest on strike. Leg side in the gap. Nyamuri will do well to keep it down to 1. That was really hit hard. So that'll be 19 overs done. 148 for 5.
And with that, also just to mention that that is the highest score for this tournament for Tuskers. The previous high score was 145. So it's a good performance towards the back end. As I always say, you want to show the fans that you got to give an effort, and that this will be a position that you build on from next season. Finishing off on a high, you go away, have a couple of thoughts. There'll be players who'll be going to play all sorts of cricket across the country and elsewhere, and then there's this minor matter, the small matter of the NPL. You start again, you load and get back into the domestic season, and then try again and put a fight for this Tuskers side.
Up and away. Is it a catch? Falls in between the two. They're pushing for 2. And they come back comfortably. 150 comes up for Tuskers for the loss of 5 wickets. 5 deliveries to negotiate. Ernest Masugu, who's the one that's on strike. Blessing Zarabani. Swing and a miss by Masugu. Just closing his eyes and losing track of the ball there.
I know it's easy to talk about what went wrong. Other than the performances today, what would you say were the positives of these two sides?
You saw him making room leg side and decided to go just a touch wider off of stump. Positives to write home about will be Luke Jongwe and Brian Chari for Tuskers. Definitely able to rescue their side from what really looked like the dire straits. Lost 3 wickets in the first 2 overs. Now they are 150 for 5. Wide on that occasion. And you would say for Southern Rocks, Dylan Honda's performance will stand out, how he was able to pick up those 3 wickets that he did. But after that, the ability just to keep the run rate not going beyond 7 or 8, that's good because it just reduces the score to a reasonable par score. Cracked away leg side. Some running from Kaia, and he won't save it. Not before. Welcome boundary for Tuskers. Take them to 155. So that ability to just keep the team from not going at around 10 and over, where they could have possibly been looking to get almost similar score that Eagles did. I think Rocks will take that on any day. If they can keep them down to below 160 here, with 2 deliveries remaining, they'll be happy. Here we go. One of the last 2. Again. Swing and a miss. Fumble by the keeper. They're looking for 2. And they come back because the throw is off. That's good running. Good call by Tim Soro there. Telling Ernest Masugu to come back. A delivery where they could have gotten a dot ball, and they pick up 2 valuable runs. Now they need 3 of the last delivery just to get to 160, which will be a moral victory for them. Here we go, last delivery of the allotted 20. Swing and a miss, but they do run. A throw is off. And they will just get to 158 for 5 in their allotted 20. And that is Tuskers. A team that had a terrible start, but found a very good partnership of more than 120 runs between Brian Chari and Luke Jongwe. Will walk off the park here with something to defend. So after 20 overs, 158 for 5. Just taking a look at the betting card for Tuskers. Brian Chari there from the start till the latter stages, scoring 76 of 59, striking 6 fours and 4 sixes. Makoni departed without troubling the scorers. Clive Madande added 1. Milton Shumba was only able to put up 4. Then Luke Jongwe, his best in his career in T20, 60 on 47. Strike rate of 127. Then a valuable 10 runs from Ernest Masugu. We'll take them to 158 for 5 after 20. The target will now be 159 for the Rocks as we take a look at their bowling card.
Dylan Hondo stand out, 3 for 17. 2 of those came in 1 over. Shelton Mashitora 1 for 43 and Newman Yamuri 1 for 31. And a lot of exciting cricket coming out later. Yes, as the group stage of the Zimbabwe domestic T20 comes to an end before the big finale tomorrow. We'll be back in a moment with the Rocks chase. Club under lights, where the Tuskers take on the Southern Rocks in a 2024-2025 Zimbabwe domestic T20 match. Here with Tawanda Eli. What's good?
It's been a good evening of cricket as we take a look at how Tuskers fade out and they elected to bat first. This is their batting card. Brian Cherry, top score with 76 from 59. And then the other effort that was valiant was Luke Chongwe, 60 from 47. And a decent knock of 10 by Ernest Masugu, just off 9 deliveries. Allowed them to get to 158 for 5 in 20.
And great performance of the ball there from Dylan Hondo, 3 for 17. It's an economy of 4.25. Certainly one of the standout players of the tournament, especially for the Rocks. And 1 wicket each for Shelton Mashutorera and Newman Yamuri. Mori also had a good comeback towards the end of his bowling card. Would have been very excited in what is his first T20 performance, his 4th match. As we come now to the Southern Rocks response. Innocent Kaya there in the middle, ready to exact whatever you can call it, some sort of statement. They've got 1 win, but there's much else to talk about. Lost key matches, just were not able to stitch together enough consistent performances within matches. Sifas Joao and Tafadzwa Tsiga promoted for the 2nd match to top of the order.
All right, Sifas Joao will be opening the batting while Ernest Masugu opens up the bowling for Tuskers. First ball, here we go. Well, quick catching Sifas Joao unawares on that occasion.
Sifas Joao is a player that they want to get out early, because if he gets going, could be curtains by the time the power play is done. See, tendency to impose himself on the opposition.
Yeah, a big hitter. Oh, that one will go all the way and be the opening boundary for Southern Rocks. That'll be wide. That'll be 5 of them. Not the start that Ernest Masugu wanted. 154 is not much. That's what they now need to win. That is Southern Rocks.
So I've enjoyed the competitive nature of this tournament. Yes, there have been a couple of matches that have ended up being one-sided at times, but there's been fight.
Another one. Despite the effort of Munashe Chimsoro to stop it, this one was really, really wide. Look, Jungwe, he's having a chat with Ernest Masugu. Already 10 from the over. I'm looking to pull it away. Doesn't really get the connection he desires, but Sifas Joao will open his runs account. That stroke to get off strike.
Head coach will be pulling his hair. Tuskers 8 runs, 10 runs, I beg your pardon, came off 1 legal delivery. It's only on 11 and only 2 legal deliveries have been bowled. Still got another 4 to go through. How 158 was commendable on the surface might turn out to be a modest score.
That occasion, looking to put away the Tiger and almost sending it straight to mid-off. Magnificent shot. Neatly timed and punched through the offside for 4. What a stroke to get off the mark for Tiga.
The shot to sort of backward square leg position, and no harm, no foul, just the 1 off that. Because of the left hand, right hand combination, the umpire switching over and fielding positions, having to change. Side looks like as if they're protecting the offside. Give an indication of where Ernest Masuga is looking to bowl. And he'll have to bowl that again, another extra off that over. And tell you what, the coaches will not be pleased at all.
Definitely you can't be pleased. Kind of a bowling effort, especially from Ernest Masuga, a senior bowler. His outfit expected of him. Wicket taker in last year's competition. Good ball. That's a quick one. Ends the over, but 17 runs off the first one. A huge one. So, Southern Rocks 17 for no loss after the first. For the captain, brings himself into the attack. Ball the second over. Whoa. Finding an inside edge onto the stumps here. Tafatu Tiga trying to blast off. Oh, just works the leg side. Might seem like it's an easily achievable target that they need to get here of 159, but you still need to put in the work. You need to be able to get in there. They've had a boosting start. They were given 17 runs in the first one. I need to find a formula to find the remaining 141. Sifas Joao just takes a look at the field set. Quicker delivery. This will be a good battle here. Leg side, and that's 4. The sweeper will just retrieve it from beyond the boundary. Straying leg side. And the man at square leg, McCorney, was beaten all ends up and watched it just cruise just past him.
That's a quality shot right there.
Oh, hit mid on this time, where there is a lively Clive Madande. Top balls, they'll need plenty of those, Tuskers. Leg side again, not before, poor from Ensley. Look, Jongwe's efforts of diving are just to show you that he will never get there. 2 overs done, 26 for no loss. The 2 overs that have been bowled so far, 26 runs have come off that. This is where Tuskers are struggling with their batting. Top orders not doing well. Their opening bowlers as well. They're struggling to find their right lines and length. Maybe Luke Jongwe will have a different fortune. Had a good outing with the bat. He's in to the 3rd over. Also going leg side. He's still a single. Really looking athletic. He has shedded a lot of weight, Luke Jongwe. Just shows you how committed a player is. Conditioning himself to be ready for action anytime he's called up.
Just had a chat with him earlier. Said he's also got peace of mind. Because it gives you clarity. You can see them clarity in which he was playing. Today, he's aware of what he wants to achieve and the methods to get there.
This change of field set. Deep square leg and 3rd man at the 2 outside the 30-yard circle. Short delivery pulled away. And we just bounced short of Milton Shumba. Who's a deep square leg. Similar field for Tafadza Tsiga. That'll be set by Luke Jongwe. Might expect a short delivery to come in the over. Full delivery, outside edge. Some work to do, but a run away for 4.
Lucky.
Fortune favors the brave, they say. Very lucky on that occasion, Tafadza Tsiga. Didn't get that one cleanly, but he'll take the runs. All right, 3rd man comes inside the circle. Fine leg goes to the boundary. Square leg still in a deep position. Clipped away.
Shot.
A couple of bounces and 4. And straying onto the pads, and he gets punished. Look, Jongwe. Current run rate, 13.5.
Fazwa Tsiga paying back the confidence given in him to open at the top.
The slow ball. Unfortunate on that occasion was John, because that one also to large. Already an expensive over for look 10 runs off it with a delivery to go. Right. Last delivery of the third over. Short delivery. Pulled away with control. And it just be kept 2-1. End of the third over. 38 for no loss after 3 for Southern Rocks. Right. Looking to take pace off, and Zimbabwe decides to bring Tanatswa Bechani into the attack. First time we're seeing him in this tournament. Left arm orthodox. Opens up with a quicker delivery. It's a good start from the young man. Man who captains Queen's Sports Club. In the NPL, took 7 wickets in one game. Those are his best bowling figures. Hitting his fielders. Possesses great talent. Can bat as well. Just didn't get an opportunity to bat. Bowl him. I told you. He can definitely find his groove, and he does in this particular encounter. And he picks up the wicket of Sifas Uwao. Dislodges the middle stump. You miss, I hit. Tanaso has his first wicket. Sifas Uwao will see the end of his T20 campaign on the domestic circuit. Goes for 11 of 12. Southern Rocks 38 for 1.
Camino is Innocent Kaya, playing his 41st T20 career match. It was a high score of 54, scored 683 runs. Not 54 is the only half century he's got. Again, a strike rate of 112.89, so he does possess some capability, often referred to by his nickname Trigger, both with reference to his action as well as his ability to hit them long and hard.
Now, good start by Tanatswa Bichani. He's just telling you about the player that he is. And in that third delivery, he picks up a wicket. Well flighted. Probably could be just what Tuskers need to rein in things here, because Southern Rocks had gotten off to a blistering start. If they can pick up 1 or 2 more wickets, they can definitely be making great efforts and strides to make this defense. Another good delivery. Good way to end the over. That'll be 39 for 1 after 4. Spin has worked from the other end, on the city end, where Tanatswa picked up his first wicket. Milton Shumba will now come through from the golf course end. Another left arm orthodox, you would say. Take the pace off. And hoping that they can be able to rein in things here. 120 is what Southern Rocks need from here going forward for them to pick up another win. They would have hoped early on that Mountaineers would have beaten Eagles, and then if they pick up a win here versus Tuskers, it would have seen them going through into the final, but not to be. Oh, inside edge. Quick single taken. Innocent Kaye trying to muscle it away. This is something that we saw yesterday at Takashinga. Southern Rocks tried to blast their way through their innings, and in those efforts missed on a number of opportunities of scoring runs by just playing proper cricket shots. Yes, they do possess 3 big hitters, Sifas Juwal, Tafazu Tsiga, Innocent Kaye up front, but they also need to bat sensibly. Like that. Muscling it right to hit the fielders. And in the efforts of Kaye yesterday trying to go over mid-off, that's how he lost his wicket. Oh, quicker delivery. Well bowled. They're looking for 2. And they come back. The throw is off. And he will come back with ease.
Brian running in between the wickets. As you alluded to there, something that has been missing in the early parts of this tournament for them. Always seem to be in a hurry. And we've noticed earlier on, when it wasn't going well, the Eagles looked for a different gear. And then when things got comfortable again,
big hit. Does it clear? No, it doesn't. Just fall short of Luke Jongwe and long on. End of the over. 5 done. 44 for 1 after 5.
So where have your standout performers been in this season so far?
Well, Tadiona Shamarumani will be the pick of them for me, batting wise, followed by his partner Kamunu Kamwe. I'll share my reasons why I picked those 2 batting wise. I'll start off with Kamunu Kamwe. Terrible last season in this tournament. Didn't do so well, but he's picked himself up quite brilliantly. Oh, nearly another wicket from Tanatswa here. He's really looking to just bowl quicker deliveries. That's well struck. Do they look for 2? Oh. Nearly almost making a meal of that one, the fielder.
It's those little things, isn't it?
Should be Clive Madande, if I'm not mistaken, trying to send it back as quickly as possible. Well bowled again, but they're able to get just the one off it. So Kamungawa did well to bring himself out of that slump of poor form. No one needs not to be reminded of Marumani as well on the international circuit, how terrible a summer he had. But he's looked sharp in this domestic competition. Shot. Brilliant shot. Great use of the feet. Didn't try to hit it too hard, but just ample power over mid-off for 4. Magnificent stroke by Tefadzo Tsega. He'll move into the 20s.
So on the bowling front, Brad Evans has done very well.
Another use of dancing shoes to pick up one, but they still 2. Good running from Innocent Kahia. Took note of the fumble by Clive Modande and came back quickly for the second. It's done well. 13 wicket stays. Great economy of 5.8 in T20. That's a magnificent economy rate. It's in the 4 innings that he's played. Again, new use of the feet. Will hit Madande. Another fumble, but quick recovery there. End of the over. That'll be 6 overs done. That'll be 54 for 1. As we come to the end of the power play, wait for the umpire to signal that. And Ian Ochabi signals that. And the 6 overs are done, so the field can be spread after this. Milton Shumba still will continue to bowl from the golf course end. Stroked just through the covers for 1.
Just remind you, tomorrow 1:45 p.m. in the afternoon, the final of the 2024-25 Zimbabwe domestic T20 is here at Harare Sports Club and streaming across the world on Zimbabwe Cricket YouTube channel, as well as the app available for free on where you get your apps.
2 short from Shumba. Luckily enough, he has protection out in the deep. Just keeps it to a single. Current run rate 8.8, required 7.6. Spin slowing down things a bit. It's a good stroke. And we'll keep just to 1. Lots and lots of homework for Tuskers now over the winter period in terms of what they need to work on in all formats. And there have been just glimpses of hope from 1 or 2 players that have done well. Nok Jongwe and Brian Cherry did well. And also lots of notes for Southern Rocks. They have power hitters, but they need also just to apply apply themselves sensibly. It's what I've noted from this season. End of the 7th over, 60-1. Anthony Lovo back in the attack. That's given out. Innocent Kahia tried just to avoid the ball. He jumped, and in the efforts to jump, when the ball struck his wicket, he was not inside the crease. He was aerial, not grounded. And Ainu Chabi gives him out. You need to be grounded, either the bat or your feet behind the popping crease. And he was aerial with both bat and feet. He will have a few discussions with the umpires there, but he was given out.
Well, it's difficult to try and get the umpire to make a different decision there.
Well, Milton Shumba with a good eye there. He threw it quick and fast.
So pleading his case there. Umpire Anu Chabi restoring the wicket. And as Innocent Kaya has to go.
Innocent Kahia goes for 12 for 14. He needed to be grounded. Well, if you have the courtesy of replay, and if you're watching this on the stream, just roll the seconds back. He was nowhere near grounded. Good decision from Ainu Chabi. And a good throw from Milton Shumba. He was gone any given Sunday.
Gone for all money.
It's also a good call by both Milton Shumba and Ansley Lover to appeal. And the umpire, he had no doubt in his mind that he was gone. Off the mark with a quick single, Roy Kahia. 62 for 2 at the moment, Southern Rocks. Tuskers making an effort to just draw things back into their favor.
Interesting period that the Southern Rocks find themselves here. They're quite settled. just a little bit of meandering about. Sure, they're about par when it comes to the required rate on 7.78, and they're going at 8.22. We'll talk about that. When they're looking at it, 7.78.
A delivery to go in the over.
And going at, in the last 5 overs, they've been going at 6.2. It was expected that there'd be a period in which the runs are not going to be coming across easily. And you will, of course, look at the last wicket that fell was in rather freakish circumstances.
I don't call it freakish. To just say just poor choice. Why are you jumping? Just ground your bat. Make sure you're behind the line. Dancing down the track. Just
his argument will say he was avoiding the ball when it's thrown at him.
Your job is not to avoid the ball. Your job is to get over the line. Be behind the line. How you choose to achieve that is totally up to you. You can dive. You can slide the bat. 8 overs done. 65 for 2. Smashed away. As we see a change in the bowling. Just trying to get a feel of another shortish delivery. That's Nkosi Bongwe. Gogodo in the attack. Just trying to confirm that for you. Similar belt like Milton Shumba, but he's not a left-arm orthodox. Rather, he's a leg spinner. Will need better control. He's really being backed up by his field set here. Being given a go in this tournament, or in this game rather. Seeing him here. Oh, better delivery. Bowling very well, just keeping it down to singles. Needs to keep his concentration levels up and finish well. Started well. Top ball. Just be on to finish the over. 9 overs done, and it'll be 70 for 2 after 9 for the Southern Rocks. A shot. That's a magnificent shot. Didn't try to hit it too hard, Roy Kahia. Just opening the face of the blade and using the pace of Ansley Ndlovu's delivery. Brilliant start to the over by that boundary. Over by over comparison at the same stage, Tuskers were 67 for 3. Quick delivery, where they're able to just to steal a leg by there. Required run rate and current run rate neck and neck. Tafazu Siga now into the 30s. He has had a good start. The next thing for him will now need to convert that to a half century or more. He's been striking the ball pretty well. Strike rate of 129. He's 31, coming off 24 deliveries. 4 boundaries to his name. It's been decent stroke play. Different from yesterday's efforts. Ten overs done, 78 for 2. We are halfway through the Southern Rocks innings as they take a strategic break. It'll be 78 for 2. We'll be back shortly.
So getting to the final half of the innings of this Southern Rocks response. They need 82 off the last 60 balls. At the crease are Roy Kaya and Tafazo Tsiga. Just looking at the batting card so far. The Tuskers made 158 for 5 from their 20 overs. In response, so far, Sifas Yor, the first batter to go out for 11, bowled brilliantly, but Panasa Bechani in his first over. Zafaza Tsiga out there still on 32. Innocent Kaya run out just a while ago, not too long ago, for 12. Roy Kaya at the crease on 10. The captain be important in this chase. Both sides out of the reckoning for the final. Final tomorrow is between Eagles and Rhinos, the two most impressive sides in the tournament. And when you put together a team of the tournament, you're probably going to have a lot of those guys from Rhinos in there. So it stands just about halfway through the chase. The target is 159. This punched to deep point, but again the shuffling allows Roy Kaya and Tafazo Tsiga to run two when they really shouldn't have.
It's aerial for a bit. Slips Milton Shumba. He landed really hard on that occasion. I hope he's okay because that looked really nasty. He's shaking his ankle. Looks to be okay. His teammates will ask him if he's okay. Change in fielding positions for him. Madande goes into the deep. He comes inside the 30-yard circle. Shot of LBW, and it's in vain. Single to end the over. 11 done. It'll be 86 for 2.
What do you think? What do you classify as your breakout performance this particular tournament? I'll give you mine. I'd say I was impressed by Hendricks Macheke. Went for quite a bit after that success on debut, but certainly got wickets in every match that he played. Kundai Mati Gimo as well. Impressed. Hard to see anyone I can think of on the batting front. Like from players from whom it was unexpected to get runs, whether they've been in and around or debuted this season.
Yeah, I think you're right with those names that you've mentioned. On the batting front, it's just been good to see people returning to form or improving in themselves. Pulled away, Brendan James. Well fielded by Tanatswa. On the batting front, that's what I would talk about. Return to form, improvements. Dion Myers was one of them. He did himself a huge favor this afternoon. Just getting going for the Eagles. Through the offside this time. Just be one. Medium pace of Brendan James being thrown into the hot seat. And, currently just hitting the sweepers that he has. So you could say that he's bowling pretty well to his field set. Taking out 36. Like he has 17. Straight up. It's a good shot. Not off the middle of the bat though. Clive Madande escapes it down to 1. Scooped. And that'll run away for 4. Well played by Roy Kahia. Shimmered across his stumps. Got into a brilliant position to play that shot. And he'll be rewarded with the boundary to end the over. It'll be 12 overs done. It'll be 94 for 2.
I think I also add that this tournament has been played in good spirits. So 1 or 2 flashpoints, but generally, the spirit of cricket has tended to win out.
Tonight's any changing ends coming from the golf course end now into the just be 1 and they come back for 2 though. It's good running. Long bounce at Harare Sports Club. On the side of the wickets where almost 67 to around 70 meters that you need to cover. Well bowled and also just decently played. Just looking to work the singles at the moment, these pair. Partnership with 35 runs of 30 deliveries. Slower delivery. And sent down on the track. Okay, here onto the 2. Tigger says there's only 1. And I think Tigger's right. There's no 2 there. Punch again down the track. It's good bowling from Tanatswa. He's not giving them enough room to free their arms to get underneath the deliveries. All they can do is just look for the singles. It'll take something extra for them to get a boundary. This is what spinners do. They dry up the boundaries if they're bowling according to their field set. Should be end of the 13th. Oh, there, 1 delivery to go. Yep. Miscounted there. 1 more delivery to go as the 100 comes up for the Rocks. 100 for 2. Again. Well played. I told you that it would need something special Use of the feet to just pierce the gap between deep square and mid wicket to get that boundary to end the over. 104 for 2 after 13. Take on 45, Roke on 23. Brennan James continuing from the city end. 55 now needed to win. Slow delivery, well bowled. Taking the pace off. Tafadzu Sik has been one also just to look at this season. He did well when he played in the 4D game versus Durham. He was one of the most outstanding batters. Now really trying also just to polish up his batting skills in T20. Oh, quicker delivery. Using the pace of Ben and James as he strays leg side. Milton Shumba did not even move an inch at short 45. It's been these moments where Tuskers just loses it, where they have a control of things and then they just loosen the grip a bit. Those are the things that they need to worry about. Short pulled away. Anis Masugu caught flat-footed there. Caught sleeping, you would say. Trying to justify his case. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. You need to attack it. Through the covers. A shot. Lovely. Gonna be 4 on any given Sunday. A pretty good over. 2 boundaries in this over. 2 deliveries to go. Okay, moves into the 30s with that stroke. Short and pulled away. This time, that's another one. A lot of conviction in that shot. A poor ball and a well-timed one. Back-to-back boundaries here.
Tell you what, Roy Kaya is trying to catch up with Siga just now.
Well, he's just a couple of blows away from catching up. Misses out Roy Kaya. 14 overs done. 118 for 2.
Ainsley Ndlovu, captain. It's going at 7.58 after 3.1, still to take a wicket. Normally one of those has got something on the wickets column, but still has 5 balls to rectify that. Gently nudged by Roy Kaya. See, Tafadzwa Tsiga equals his highest ever T20 score. Then he passes it, moves to 47.
A great milestone for him. And he goes past that one. He just acknowledges it there. He knows there's a bigger one that's just 3 runs away. Big heave leg side. And taken. Kosi Ibongwe. Gogoro takes a brilliant catch to give Ainsley Ndlovu his first wicket. Roy Kaya trying to get things going here in the efforts to get a maximum will depart. He will lose his wicket. Well, he had done pretty well to get into the 30s. A depart for 39 from 27. Strike rate of 144 that he had. Southern Rocks now 121 for 3.
That brings Jonathan Campbell to the crease. It's Southern Rocks, 38 or 32 needed. Tafadzwa Tsiga still at the crease on 47 of 35, which is hit 5 fours. A testament to some of the great running he has done. And Jonathan Campbell quickly off the mark. And Sega is about to get to his milestone. Earlier on, so Luke Jongwe got to his milestone, got to his maiden 50. Tafadzwa Tsiga is now 2 runs away from that.
15 overs done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.
Tafadzwa Tsiga to face Milton Shumba. Just draws him into a heartbreak.
36 required to win this one for Southern Rocks. Tafadzwa Tsiga will just trot down for 1 to get to 49. 1 stroke away from a maiden T20 half century. Tuskers also, I think they just need a few good moments here. Pick up a couple of wickets, dot balls here or there. They can make a fight out of this. Campbell still had to make a real impact in this tournament. Can they come back for two? And Brian Cherry just make sure that it's one. Right, Tigger on strike here. And 2 deliveries remaining in the over. Will this be a crowning moment for him? Now he'll get to his maiden T20 50. And that's it. A 50 for Tigger. It's been a brilliant fit for his side. He's done well. He comes off 39 deliveries. He struck 5 fours at a strike rate of 128. He's been out there for 41 minutes to get to his 50. They still motor on, picking up singles. 16 overs done. It's 1, 2, 7 for 3 after 16 for Rocks. Tanatswa, Johnny will be bowling his last over of the 4 that he can bowl. He's done well. 3 for 21 with 1 wicket. Too short. And finds the fielder in the deep. There's Campbell just for 1. It was a shot that really deserved a whole lot more. Fortunate was Tanatswa on that occasion. Different field set for Tafadzo Tsiga here. Taking the pace off. And a fumble. And again from Ernest Masugu. And he's struggling to be out there in the field. There's been a couple of occasions where he's given away a run unnecessarily. Big stroke. Taken by Clive Madande. Tanatswa picks up his 2nd wicket. And a time where he's done well. Jonathan Campbell looking to go leg side. Doesn't have enough power to clear the boundary, but finds a well-placed Clive Madande, who braced himself to take the fall as he took the catch. It'll be 129 for 4. Newman Nyamuri will be the new man at the crease.
Question: could this end up as a super over?
Cracked away. Does he look for two? Yes, he does. Still a long way. 28 required. Quite a number of deliveries left. So still too early to say we might have a super over. Now, well bowled by Tanatswa.
So I'm just saying the rate at which the run rate is currently about the 8.2. Required is 8.84. Of course, all it takes is a 4 and
well, a good spell that comes to an end for Tanatswa Bechani. Finishes up his 4 overs. Finished with figures of 2 for 25 in 4. Only gave away 2 boundaries in those 4 overs. The rest were singles. That's well done. 9 dot balls in his spell. A young man that definitely we should be seeing more in Tuskers colours out there. And shows why he's one of the best in the Bulawayo Metropolitan League out there. All right, 28 needed. Tsiga on strike on 51. Milton Shumba will be bowling. Can Tuskers just pull out a Houdini act in these last 3 overs? 6 wickets in hand. Big stroke down. 4 short of Tanatswa. They're coming back for 2. A good running by Newman. Good call, trusting his legs to carry him over the line there. Another strike down to long on. Can they come back for 2? Yes, they do, because there's a fumble. Good running. Really running hard. They understand the gravity of the situation here. Right, because just of the few dot balls that have been bowled, the required run rate has shot up to 9. That'll be wide. Because they've been going neck and neck. That is, Rhinos matching what's required. So a few dot balls by Tuskers can change things here. Oh, that's it in the slot. Mighty hit. It'll ease the pressure. Tsega goes for maximum. Milton Shumba going full and pays the price.
Tell you what, frustrating after all the pressure. The last couple of overs, especially from Tanatswa Bechani. Then that just could heave ho over the 6. Fair play to Tsiga because he's hit that very well. But it will be frustrating for the Tuskers. Just 17 from 15 required now.
Power down through the covers. Ben and James work to do. Does he keep it in? Yes, it does, but they will run for 3. That's good running. They need as many as they can get to try and ease the pressure within the last 2 overs. Get as many as you can. Two deliveries to go. Newman on strike. Floats it up. Finds the thickish outside edge, but they do run again. Shumba not happy. Urging Makoni to attack the ball. Don't wait it to come to you. Again through the covers. They think of 1, but they will just settle for that. It'll be a good over. 18 overs done. 147 for 4. The penultimate over. It'll be given to Nkosibonwe Gogodo to bowl it. Tiga on strike. 12 needed. This could end very quickly here. Tiga gets into his stride. Tries to go for a big one. They're pushing for 2. And they do come back. Newman Yamori, he might not be scoring runs, but I tell you what, he's running very hard. He's really putting in an effort. A great exhibition of what one should do from the non-striker's end. Again, power down. This time around, he'll settle just for 1. Nine runs needed. Comes down the track and works it to deep backward square. Who fumbles it and they come back easily for 2. Plenty of fumbles, plenty of second guessing. Has allowed Rocks to steal quite a number of 2s here. Seven required. This game could all end in this over. Because all he needs will be probably a single from Newman, maybe a maximum from Tiga, and it's game over. Or maybe Newman could think that he can finish it himself. You never know. We'll find out shortly. Powers it down. They're pushing for 2. Oh, near collision. They can't capitalize on that, Tuskers. Right. 5 now required. Too short. Man, it will be just 1 bounce to Clive Madande. A deep mid wicket. 4 required. 1 delivery remaining in the over. Can Tiga finish off things and finish the game with 6 deliveries to spare? Down the track he comes. It'll be a top ball. So it'll be in the 19th over done. 155 for 4. Last 6 deliveries of this match. Ernest Masugu will be taking the honors to try and defend 4 of 6. Now, your question of a super over might just come in here. Can he defend 4 of 6 with Newman Yamori on strike here? It'll be interesting to see the field set that Ernest will have here, defending 4. It's taken quite a while to set up for this last over from both sides. Newman calling in for a helmet while Tuskers were still trying to figure out who will bowl this last over. And they settle for Ernest Masugu. Right. Long on. Deep mid-wicket, deep square. Sweep on the offside. Third man. Leg side, and he goes straight. Brendan James will keep it to 2. So it'll be now just 2 required to get over the line. Full toss. He needed that one to be in the block hole. Just gets tougher to defend now. 2 required of 5. Mid-wicket comes from a deep position to inside the circle. Fine leg goes back. Looking for the block hole. And we squirted down to fine leg for just 1. 1 required of 4 deliveries remaining. Tigger on strike is on 68. The backbone of the Southern Rocks innings. Will he finish off this in style? And everybody on the in front of the batter will come inside the circle. Even the sweeper comes inside, so it'll only be third man and fine leg that will be at the boundary. Square leg will be halfway in. Here we go. Could this be the last stroke of the game? Short, pull away, and that will be in the run to finish off things here. Southern Rocks will clinch this one by 6 wickets. And they get over the line with 3 balls to spare. The target was 159. Largely due to the efforts of Tafadzwa Tsiga. A magnificent effort with the bat that he had. So Southern Rocks will finish off by claiming the last remaining 2 points of this group stage. Tuskers, they finish without anything. Let's have a look at the batting scorecard for Southern Rocks. Sifas Joao made 11 of 12. Tafadzwa Tsiga not out on 65. He's highest of the tournament and also of his career, 65 from 45. Striking 5 fours and 1 maximum. Innocent Kahia made 12 for 14. And then Roy Kahia made 39 of 27. Jonathan Campbell just made it 4. Newman Nyamuri might have just only added 3 runs, but he's running in between the wickets. Very impressive. Was what was needed. He did quite well, you would say. I beg your pardon, you finish off with 11. That's Nyamuri. Let's have a look at the bowling card for Tuskers.
So Tuskers bowling card, Tanasa Bajani there with 2 for 25 and Ainsley Liverpool 1 for 28. But just not enough wickets taken. And that's the story of the Tuskers effort. Taking just taking 12 wickets throughout this whole tournament. And if you want to win a tournament or at least go deep into a tournament, you need to take a lot more than that.
Right, the table. After every team has played their allotted 4 games before the final, Rhinos 4 wins on the trot. And they cruised with ease to the final with 8 points. Eagles in second position with 6 points. Southern Rocks with 4. After winning this one, Mega Market Mountaineers, they finish up with 2. Tuskers, none at all. 4 losses on the trot. That's how the table will finish off. And then tomorrow, it will be, the time will be 1:30 in the afternoon, where we'll see the final. Rhinos taking on Eagles. Thank you so much for joining us for this live stream, courtesy of Zimbabwe Cricket, covering the domestic T20 competition. And the curtain comes down on a magnificent tournament of T20 action. My name is Tawanda Eli, and I was with
My name is Larry Kwiderai. Join us for the all action tomorrow, the big game between Eagles and Rhinos.
Season comes to an end, it does so with a week of the most exciting domestic tourney, the men's domestic T20. Will the Mountaineers continue to assert their dominance and make it a treble-winning season? Or will the Rhinos mount a challenge and win their first silverware of the season? 2 venues, 5 provinces, 11 matches, and just 1 winner. From the 24th to the 30th of March 2025 at Harare Sports Club and Takashinga Cricket Club. Who will be crowned the 2025 Domestic T20 champion?